Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, your number one stop for South African political drama, courtroom bombshells, and the kind of stories you simply can't make up. If you thought state capture was wild, buckle up. Because today, we're diving headfirst into a case involving billions of rands, bags of diamonds, a controversial lawyer, the deputy president's wife, and a businessman who may or may not be South Africa's own version of a Bond villain. And before we jump in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. We want to hear your thoughts on whether these allegations are just courtroom theatrics or signs of something far more serious brewing in our political elite. Let's get into it. So, who is Louis Liebenberg? To most, he's known as the so-called King of Diamonds. A flamboyant businessman with a taste for luxury cars, helicopters, and a flair for drama that would make any soap opera writer jealous. But to South Africa's legal system, he's a man on trial, facing serious charges of fraud, money laundering, and violating financial sector laws. At the heart of it all is a R4 billion diamond investment scheme that prosecutors say was little more than a Ponzi operation wrapped in sparkle. Liebenberg allegedly promised mouth-watering returns to unsuspecting investors, many of whom handed over their life savings, only to have their money allegedly fund his extravagant lifestyle and backroom deals. But this week, the courtroom turned from a trial into a political thriller. While testifying at the Johannesburg High Court, Liebenberg made what can only be described as explosive allegations. He told the court that he paid a whopping R10 million to none other than Advocate Dali Mpofu. And, wait for it, that payment was allegedly on behalf of former President Jacob Zuma. Yes, you heard that right. According to Liebenberg, Zuma's mounting legal bills were such a burden that they had to be outsourced. And who better to step in than a businessman trying to save his own skin? Now, let's be clear. Dali Mpofu has not confirmed or denied the payment. The man who has defended everyone from Julius Malema to Zuma himself remains tight-lipped. That silence? It's got tongues wagging. But Liebenberg didn't stop there. He went even further, alleging that he handed over diamonds, yes, actual precious stones, to the wife of Deputy President Paul Mashatile during what he described as private meetings. Now let's pause here. Handing over diamonds in secret to a political spouse. That's not just corruption, it's practically Shakespearean. Or maybe just very, very South African. According to Liebenberg, the diamonds were meant to buy protection as his business empire came under scrutiny. In plain terms, he was allegedly greasing the wheels of power, paying the right people to keep the wolves at bay. Now the Deputy President's office has not formally responded. But insiders are already calling the claims outrageous fabrications. Still, the silence is deafening. In South African politics, the louder the denial, the more suspicious the public tends to get. Let's not forget what's at stake here. We're talking about a man accused of scamming investors out of billions. People who thought they were investing in diamonds, only to get nothing in return but headlines and heartbreak. The prosecution says Liebenberg didn't just lie, he built a whole empire on it. Luxury helicopters, designer clothes, gifts to politicians. This wasn't your average white-collar fraud. This was a lifestyle brand. And now, with more witnesses expected to testify and the defense preparing for a fiery cross-examination, legal analysts say this trial could drag on for weeks. But here's the kicker, it may not be the verdict that matters most. Because if Liebenberg's claims are proven true, or even partially accurate, the political fallout could be enormous. We're talking about sitting government officials, legal heavyweights, and one of the most controversial former presidents in democratic history all caught in the crossfire. And let's be honest, even if Liebenberg is exaggerating, why name Dali Mpofu and Paul Mashatile's wife specifically? Why not just stick to vague allegations? The level of detail is uncanny and dangerous. This could become one of those rare court cases that lifts the veil off the hidden economy of influence, where diamonds replace brown envelopes and legal fees are paid not by clients, but by men trying to stay out of jail. And let's be real, this isn't the first time South Africans have heard about hush payments, mysterious donors, and political protection rackets. But diamonds. That's new. That's theatrical. That's tabloid gold. You can practically hear the Netflix producers taking notes. Now here's a twist for you: if Liebenberg's story starts checking out, it could spell serious trouble for both Dali Mpofu and Paul Mashatile. At the very least, it'll invite intense scrutiny into how much politicians know, and how far businessmen will go to stay in their good graces. But let's also be fair. These are allegations. Serious ones, but still just claims from a man trying to deflect attention from his own massive legal trouble. Could Liebenberg be lying? Absolutely. He has every reason to drag powerful people down with him. But if even a fraction of this story holds up under scrutiny, we're looking at a political scandal that reaches from the courtroom to the very top of the executive branch. And don't think this is the last twist. Liebenberg's trial is still in its early stages. More names could drop. More skeletons could tumble out of those gold-plated closets. So, what should South Africans take from this? First, remember, power and money always find each other. Whether it's diamonds, campaign donations, or backroom legal aid, every transaction has a price. And every price, it seems, eventually demands payment. Second, the line between business and politics in South Africa has always been thin. But this case? It might just erase it altogether. Finally, it's yet another reminder of why transparency matters. If the Deputy President's wife is receiving diamonds from businessmen under investigation, the public deserves to know. If lawyers are being paid millions on behalf of politicians with no paper trail, something's wrong. Because where there's smoke and diamonds, there's usually fire. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Is Louis Liebenberg telling the truth? Or is this just another desperate con artist spinning tales to save himself? Should Dali Mpofu respond publicly? And will Mashatile survive this PR nightmare unscathed? We'll be following the trial closely and bringing you all the developments as they unfold. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into South African politics, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Until then, keep questioning, keep watching, and keep your diamonds far away from politicians. See you next time.